Oh, Lord. We motherfucking did it, you guys. 1 million streams. 1 million streams on Spotify for my song Microdosing. That shit crazy, twin. Y'all went crazy on that one, bro. Y'all snapped, for real. And shout out to Nik Tendo for hopping on the feature for that song. He's a big part of the reason why that song did so good. This is my first big M on one platform. Y'all know last week or 2 weeks ago, however long ago, we just reached 1 million streams on We Don't Get No Fucks. Pop it. But that was across platforms, you feel me? So that means Apple Music, Tidal, Spotify, Amazon Music. That's all of those platform streams combined. We reached 1 million. This song right here, we got one big M just on Spotify alone. So I ain't even looked to see how much it is all the way across all the platforms. I'm sure it's way more than just 1 million if we count up all the platforms. But just Spotify alone got a big M next to it now. And I can't thank y'all enough for that. It ain't even about the numbers really though. Like I fuck with numbers because numbers help me gauge how much better I'm doing now than I was at a previous point in time. But like, I don't know, it's like a milestone, twin. Like as an upcoming independent artist, like 1 million is a big fucking number, twin. Like mainstream artists on these labels and shit, they see millions all the time. That shit ain't none of them. Twin, 1 million mean a lot to me. That means 1 million people listen to my song, some shit that I created from thin air. You get what I'm saying? I spent my hard work creating something out of thin air, and 1 million people liked it. It got played over 1 million times. That's a lot to me though, man. That's crazy. I don't want to go too long just yapping about my accomplishments or whatever, but I am grateful. I just want to say that. I don't want y'all to ever think I'm bragging. I'm just super proud of myself, so that's why I talk the way I talk. But I also want to get some insight to other independent artists out there too on how you can also reach 1 million streams. It's like 3 ways I can think of off top to reach 1 million streams. And I'm gonna just start off with the first one, which is probably the easiest. It's the hardest, but the easiest at the same time. And I would say collaborate with a bigger artist. That's what I did for this song, Microdosing. I collaborated with a bigger artist. Nik Tendo is one of the biggest artists in the Czech Republic. He just happened to be following me on social media, and he happened to like what I was doing with music. So we networked, and we made it happen like that, free of charge. It was just a mutual experience. He wanted to work with an American artist. I wanted to work with an international artist. I had no idea he was as big as he was at the time, but it worked out well, and I found out, man. I fucked around and found out for sure. That became my biggest fucking song on Spotify to date. So shout out to him for that. That's the number one. That's the first way that I can tell you to get 1 million streams. Collaborate with somebody bigger, because obviously their network is larger than yours. So combining the two, y'all will reach way more people than you could on your own. Simple as that. And the cheat code to doing that also, though, is to make sure that, for one, they on the same page as you and that they're willing to actually help you out and promote the song, too. Make sure they're willing to do that, because that goes a long way. And also, if they're down for it, do a co-primary release. That means that you are a primary artist on the release, and that person is also a primary artist. Now, that is how you get the most visibility. You get what I'm saying? Whatever your distributor is, if you have a distro deal, you can just tell whoever your representative is to set it up that way for you. Or if you use like DistroKid or TuneCore or some shit, the option to add multiple primary artists is there. But don't do this without actually getting the other artist's permission first. You need to have their permission to do this, because it's gonna drop that song on all their platforms with their name at the front, so that when their fans see it, they treat it like it's their song. You get what I'm saying? They don't even treat it like it's a feature, like it's you featuring them. They gonna treat it like it's their song too, so you're gonna get just that much more support. And that's how we worked this record. I got him to agree to do the co-primary. We dropped it that way, and we went crazy with it. So that's the first way that I can tell you to reach 1 million views. The second way to reach 1 million views, I wouldn't recommend it, but a lot of motherfuckers do this, and that's paying for that shit. Motherfucker ass will literally pay for streams and shit on Spotify, and I'm not 100% sure if you can even still get paid for the fake streams and shit, but I know motherfuckers out there be really inflating these numbers. The labels do it. Everybody know now. The big labels, they do it. That's why they artists be reaching like 5 million streams in a month and shit, because, you feel me? If you know you got the pool where you can actually get 1 million or 2 million real streams, they be like, why not double it? Because nobody's gonna question it. You know what I mean? That's their mindset, I guess. It's all about deception, and at the end of the day, the way people perceive the numbers is the way they're gonna treat you. So they want to make motherfuckers look larger than life. But as a smaller artist, man, we know your ass can't hit 1 million streams, twin. So like, don't go out there buying them motherfucking streams, cause for one, it don't look right. Motherfuckers ain't never gonna trust you ever again in the future either if they seen you buying streams once. So don't ever do that, twin. Don't ever go that route. But it is one if you just really want a number up there so bad. Just remember though, you gotta keep that shit real with yourself. If you gonna inflate your numbers, keep that shit a buck with yourself. Now, that many people did not hear you. You have that number next to you, but that don't mean that many people actually heard you. Them is not real people. So that's another way. But I mean, I guess when it comes to buying this shit too, there is other ways you could buy 1 million streams technically. Like you could pay for playlist placements or playlist submissions. There's a bunch of people online that curate their own Spotify playlists and whatnot. And a lot of them get a lot of listeners and shit. You can contact them various ways. Like you can just go on Instagram and search for different playlist curators and reach out to them via email or DM. However you need to get in contact with them, you can get in contact with these people and shit. Usually for a small fee, like $25, $50, they'll let you get a slot on one of their playlists. I personally haven't really like tested this method out, but I do know people that have, and this is a good one because the people that subscribe to these playlists, they go to them just wanting to listen to good music. They'll stream the playlist on shuffle and not even think twice about it. And then if when your song comes on, if it catches their attention, they'll save it to their library, and now they listen to your shit too. So that's a good way to get new fans, and you can get a lot of streams like that too. Some playlists you don't even have to pay for it. Sometimes you can just submit to them motherfuckers for free. They might actually like it. Make sure also, while I'm talking about playlists, make sure that when you releasing your music, you drop it with at least a week of lead time. A lot of people be saying like 3, 4, 5 weeks in advance, but as long as you got at least a week of lead time before your release date, you'll have enough time to pitch your song to Spotify editorials. That's crucial. You probably not gonna land on the editorial, but you 100% not gonna land on it if you don't try to submit. Some people actually do look up and get placed on these editorial playlists just by pitching their shit directly through their Spotify for Artists app. And if you don't know what the editorial playlist is, it's just like a playlist curated by Spotify. And so if they made it, they gonna promote it heavy. These bitches pop up on like the front page of Spotify and shit. And a lot of people trust these playlists and a lot of people listen to these playlists. So getting on one of them playlists, that shit'll boost your numbers like crazy, bro. You'll skyrocket for sure. It's a lot of motherfuckers that blew up overnight just because they ended up getting lucky and got put on the editorial playlist. So make sure you pitching your music for that. So that's number 2 way is paying for that shit. Yeah, either go the 100% fake route or you can pay for it the other way, pay for it the legitimate way. If you're gonna pay something, I would say make sure it's legit, but hey, different stroke for different folks. Do whatever you want to do. I ain't gonna judge you. And the number 3 way, this is what I did for We Don't Get No Fucks, right? Content. That's all I can really tell you is content. Consistent content at that. Post the fuck out of that shit. You ain't spend all that time making that song, making sure the mix and all that shit was right. You ain't spend all that time doing that just to not post that shit. You get what I'm saying? Post the fuck out of your song. Find creative ways to post it. Like, do whatever you got to do though, but create content. If you don't know how to create content, it's as easy as going on TikTok, open up your For You page, and copy the first video that piqued your interest. Copy it, but put your content there. That everybody does it. It's gonna feel kind of weird and inauthentic at first, but do that just to start out to, and I promise you, it's gonna help you build that muscle. It's gonna help you build the muscle for creating content. Think about it like you going to the gym. You want to start getting swole and shit, so you start going to the gym. You don't even know how to work out for real. What you gonna do? You gonna look on YouTube, or you gonna ask a homie, or you gonna look around, ask somebody in the gym for advice, or maybe even just watch somebody, and based off of what they do, you gonna replicate it. And then over time, once you done built them muscles, you done got kind of used to it. Now you can kind of start developing your own workout and see what works for you. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's the same way with this content shit. Look at what other people is doing, especially people that's similar to you. You get what I'm saying? This shit ain't gotta be cringy. Motherfuckers think that creating content is cringe. That shit do not have to be cringe. It can be cool. It can be fun. It can be a unique experience. And it can also be a creative experience. The creativity for an artist doesn't have to stop at creating the art. The creativity can extend beyond creating the art all the way into the content that you create to promote the art too. So content. Do not sleep on creating content, because the more pieces you put out, that's the more potential chances you have of going viral. If you get one viral video, that could be enough to catapult your career to the next level. And if you can do it one time, you can do it 2 times. If you can do it 2 times, you can do it a few times. If you can do it a few times, you can do it infinitely. So create content and do not stop creating content. And don't think of content in a bad way. Think of content as just another creative outlet for you. And on top of you being able to be creative another way, you getting another chance to promote your work and get more eyes on your work potentially. So think about it that way, man. That's my 3 key things on how you can get 1 million streams as an independent artist. I know it's kind of slightly vague, but everything I just touched on can easily be researched deeper if you really need to. You feel me? Or you can hit me up personally. I'll give niggas the game. I ain't really tripping on all that. I just didn't want to go too long on this video. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's the 3 things that I can tell you right now for getting 1 million streams on your shit, man. Collaborate with a bigger artist. Pay for that shit. Please do it the authentic way if you're going to do it, though. Or go crazy with the content. Now, the bonus tip is do all 3. Bonus tip is do all 3. You feel what I'm saying? That's how you really going to go up. You got a big artist and you paying playlist curators to throw you on their playlist. So that's already maximizing the visibility on top of all the new listeners that's going to come from the bigger artists. And then on top of that, you're going crazy with content for the song too. I'm saying it's a recipe for nothing but, it's a recipe for nothing but greatness and success. You can't lose if you put all that shit together. So, hey man, it's all going to take time. It's going to take a lot of consistency. It's going to take a lot of energy. It's going to be a lot of posts that flop if you're doing the content. It's going to be a lot of playlist submissions that don't go through if you're doing that. It's going to be a lot of big artists that don't respond to you if you're trying to go that route. But don't never stop. Don't never give up. That shit sounds super cliche, but I promise you, just don't never do it. Keep your heart in this shit. As long as your heart is there, you feel me, and your heart is beating and your heart is alive, then that means the dream is alive too. So that's about all I can tell y'all, man. Appreciate y'all for getting me to 1 million on Microdosing. I appreciate it. I can't say how much I appreciate it, man. I'm actually probably finna go ahead and order my plaque. Finna go and get that bitch sent to the crib, because that shit is major. Appreciate y'all. I have some more new music dropping for y'all real soon. Music videos on the way. All that good shit, man. Just keep tuning in. Make sure y'all subscribed if you ain't already. I'm gonna do more videos like this from time to time and vlogs and all that type of shit too. But y'all just stay tapped in, man. And with all that being said, man, like, comment, subscribe. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Yeah. Let's go.